Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late December, moving into early January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Geminis in late December, moving into early January? We're smack dab in the center of the holiday season, my friends. So I hope you're having a good one. Let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a peek at. And then, yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in late December, early January. We're starting a brand new calendar year soon. Let's see what's happening for my good friends as we transition. There we go. Thank you. Cool. Very dreamy. And this seems to be a theme I've been picking up for a lot of people this week. And I normally get this type of stuff a lot for the water signs, but it seems like it's bleeding over through the whole collective. And I love the imaginative aspect. I love the spiritual aspect. And it's a little daydreamy. Nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you're getting proper rest and relaxation. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lady. It looks like she's doing some sort of yoga pose, meditation pose. She could be taking a nap, having herself a little snooze. We have the clock up there, and the numbers are flying off in all sorts of different directions. Beautiful etheric background. This to me feels like it could be a dream. Now, for some of you, maybe there is some sort of emphasis around sleep or rest. If you haven't been sleeping too much, maybe you've had a little insomnia, this card could show up when that happens. Or you might just be having some funky dreams where Spirit might be sending you messages, or you're going on all sorts of astral adventures when this card shows up. I love the creativity of this. Like I mentioned, it does remind me of water sign energy. So whether it's creative pursuits like art and writing and music, or whether it's figuring situations out in a creative manner, this energy is thinking outside of the box. The only downside when we get this type of energy, and you may have seen it before, is that sometimes it could be a little too much in its mind. It could be overthinking, over imagining stuff. So we're just going to let it chill right there. She could do what she's doing. It's great for spiritual stuff as well. If we put all the other stuff to the side, that's an energy that's going within and connecting with the inner voice. So we'll let her keep doing that. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Geminis. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a bit of a conundrum because there was a lot of really good stuff, and then I saw a problematic energy, and the reading itself was given mixed signals. The reading was titled A Big Win and a Big Problem. So I hope that last part didn't happen for you. But yeah, whether it's a situation where there's good and bad, I know Geminis are usually very good at having a wide perspective of things, where you could see the good in something, you could see the not so good. So it could be a lot of stuff. It was just giving mixed signals. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Gemini. What do we got in late December, early January? What's the vibe? Yeah, weird. Very mixed signals here. So we're going to start off here. We got the Ten of Swords. Don't get freaked out about that. It's all good. Just going to plop that in right there. I'm glad that we're getting it sooner rather than later. I would rather know about the Ten of Swords right away. It did come out with the Four of Wands, the 11-11 card, so that's a good thing. So a bit of this mixed signal initially starting to show up. We're going to dig deeper into it. But it's like we have a really, really positive card, and then we have a card that's not so much. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here. All right, Page of Cups, cool, communication. So we have a nice little mixture of stuff happening here, Gemini. If I were to say which way I'm leaning with this, it does feel like there could be a little more positive or neutral energy than the challenge. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. At first glance, I always like to look at the elements, and we have a nice mixture here this week, which is really good. Elements tell us the areas of life that could be highlighted or how the energy is moving and flowing. And a lot of this actually is workable with Gemini energy. We start off with air, fire, then water. Now, air is your power element, that's your power place. It's an energy you're comfortable with. It deals with the logical mind, it deals with the intellect. It's very smart. It could be about strategy and planning, the thought process. That's the big thing with sword energy, but also communication. That's the communication suit. Moving over, and I'd say the big downside to swords is sometimes they could be a little cold, sometimes they could be a little detached. We'll take a close look at it. In the center we have fire, so like the fire air combo, yes, it could be explosive or it could be a little out of nowhere, but fire is generally the realm of action. So the actions we take, the actions other people take. Think of energy levels, vitality, the internal combustion engine. It's very passionate and it acts before it thinks sometimes. And that's the downside of it. Like sometimes it could be a little too spontaneous. Sometimes it could do things without fully thinking them through. So this combo we definitely want to keep a close eye on because we got really good stuff, but we have the challenge. And on the back end, we have the water, the emotional realm, the realm of feelings, the creativity that we saw with that very first Oracle card. It does tie in more closely to interpersonal relationships and connections, love and romance, all that stuff. But we don't just have to focus solely on that. The downside with water is that it's slippery, right? It's always moving, it's always flowing. So it could be up, it could be down. And we're kind of seeing that here. It's like we got the down, up, slipping, up and down, up and down. So it seems like the energy is in flux. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Ten of Swords. So we're not going to mince words with that card. If you watch tarot, you understand that's not the nicest energy. We see that individual, they got 10 swords in their back, right? So this card, like all tens, not just the Ten of Swords, could sometimes represent the end of something, the close of a chapter. It could also represent loss. Now, it's not all bad. Every card, even this difficult one, does have a silver lining. The Ten of Swords could be pain in general. So maybe you're dealing with something that's emotionally painful. Very possible when this card is here. Um, it doesn't always have to be rock bottom. It doesn't always have to be the worst thing. I always say when it comes to challenging cards, they're all on a spectrum, right? Like sometimes it could be a little minor, sometimes it could be gloomy, sometimes you could still be dealing with the fallout of Ten of Swords energy, even if it hasn't already or just happened. So this could be a lingering thing for some of you. But the good thing, and we'll put like all the loss and endings and betrayal to the side, the Ten of Swords to me tells me there's nowhere to go but up. So that's a good thing. But of course, this card could have some warnings that we want to pay very close attention to, especially with this next card that we have right next to it, because we move from the Ten of Swords into what's normally a very positive, extremely positive, celebratory type of energy. We got the Four Wands, and we see those people. They're surrounded by the Four Wands, and this is the 1111 card. This is a huge card for signs, synchronicities, and omens. That's why I'm like, all right, we need to look deeper because next to the Ten of Swords, and then we have the signs. Could Spirit be warning you about something? Could Spirit be trying to show you something or connect the dots for you? Very possible. But if we put the signs and omens to the side, the Four Wands to me is solid. It's stable, right? It represents people coming together and celebrating. So this is one of my cards of wins, victories, and blessings. So it's like we still have this energy that's feeling a little bit down, and we have this energy that's way, way up. It's solid, it's stable. It could represent home, family situations as well. So we do want to look at it. But the downside of the Four of Swords, since it is so solid and stable, sometimes it could be an energy that feels stuck. So when I see the Ten of Swords and the Four of Wands, if these are the same situation, it's like I'm still dealing with this. I still feel this thing. I'm still working through this. Now, moving to the very back end, we have the Page of Cups. Cool. And I do feel like this is a bit of a relief in the energy for me. Now, for a portion of you, you might be connected to a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. All pages are students and all pages are messengers. They represent new, fresh type of energy. So when we start with the Ten of Swords and ending, and we got the page, that's a fresh, brand new beginning. So this has a lot of potential. Turning over a new leaf. That's a big vibe I'm feeling right now. So I like the page. This one in particular is more about emotional release, or if it is a message, if it is a talk or conversation, it's like I need to get something off my chest. This card can sometimes represent venting or just sharing your feelings. But the downside to the Page of Cups, even if we are talking about a message, talk, or conversation, sometimes it could be a little shy. Sometimes it could be an energy that suppresses, where it's like, oh, there is something I want to speak about, but maybe I shouldn't. Like it's second guesses. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get it going here. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the Geminis, please. What do we got for our good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ten of Swords. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Ten of Swords. What's happening? Why is that Ten of Swords here? Thank you. Yeah. All right. So we have Strength in reverse underneath this Ten of Swords. Yeah, this is a big hit. This feels like a big blow of some sort. Um, you ever feel like sometimes you go 2 steps forward, 1 step back? That kind of is how it's feeling to me initially. Now, for a small portion of you, when I see Strength in reverse, it's usually very caring, very nurturing. Um, it's a soft, loving type of energy. So when I see it in reverse under a card like the Ten of Swords, it feels very hurtful to me. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen to you. Like for some of you, this could be something you're still working through. Could be something you're dealing with. Could it be a serious situation or problem that you might be working through? Absolutely. And it's like, it's harder than I thought it would be. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here. Now, there is still a lot of potential for positivity. I don't want to just boil down the reading just into this ending type of energy alone, because there's still a lot to go. Now, Strength, it could represent a Leo. It is karmic in nature. So, like when we see the karmic energy in reverse underneath the Ten of Swords, for a lot of you, there could be a karmic cycle closing. Karmic cycle that is ending, even if difficult, it needed to be that way for a reason. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, you signed up for a Gemini. I'm not going to do all that. But yeah, Ten of Swords, Strength in reverse. Either it's something that packs a punch, something that still hurts. So whether it's an ending situation that might be serious or a problem, um, it lingers for a little bit. But we're just going to keep moving. It could just be a karmic cycle closing, and it could be going out with a roar instead of a whimper. Let's go in on the Four of Swords, or the Four of Wands, pardon me. Yeah, it's pretty rough in the front, but let's see what the Four of Wands has. Maybe we're going to turn it around here. And we turn it around here. Okay, total opposite. Total opposite. So we got the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard. He's holding a goblet. He's having a really good time. Very comforting, soothing type of energy I'm picking up here in the front. So I find this bizarre that it showed up last week. It's showing up again, where it's like we have this huge win or blessing coming in, but at the same time, we got this tough problem or ending happening, where it's like two things simultaneously happening. So watch out for any situations like that. Now, the King of Cups, if you're not connected to a water sign here, it is tied heavily into intuition as well, like all the water suit is. So, like when I see the Four Wands, King of Cups, just watch out for the sign synchronicities and omens from the universe, because the universe might be trying to give you a heads up, like Gemini, this karmic cycle is closing, or this thing's about to shift big for you. So watch for those, whether it's through dreams or through various different means. It's like my intuition is telling me something, but it also feels really good. So it's so odd to 2 weeks in a row have these big extremes of energy where it's like really, really tough, really hitting me hard. And then this one is like, I'm happy. So hopefully you're coming from this into this. That could be possible for some of you. You may have been down for a while, maybe hurting about something. And then boom, it's like, I wake up and I feel better. So we have a lot of stuff happening here, Gemini. There's a big complexity in your readings the past 2 weeks. Let's go in on the Page of Cups. Hopefully this isn't two people acting in different ways, where like one energy seems very unbothered, nonchalant, and this one is really taking it hard. But it feels like both are existing at the same time. Let's go in on the page. Let's see what the page has. Why is it here for Gemini? Thank you. Huh. Okay. This energy seems like it's choosing its words very, very, very carefully. Okay. So we have the Nine of Wands with the Page of Cups. Watch out for miscommunications in this time, because that can be we are seeing a conversation of some sort, and it could be either important or serious in nature, like especially here and with what we're seeing up here in the front. Watch out for anybody that's acting like they're not affected by something when they really are, or like they're shrugging it off, like, yeah, no, don't worry about it, no big deal. Like, when there's an issue or some tension with a person, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry about that, yeah, don't worry about it, when in reality this person's still pissed off. Like, it's giving me that kind of vibe. It's so unique, and I feel like I'm doing a personal here, so only take what hits for you. But the big thing I'm picking up here is either one, someone choosing their words very, very carefully. So whether that talk of serious, important nature, very possible here, or the miscommunications, where it's like, I'm feeling these things, but I can't put words to them. So watch out for things like that. And I know what that's like, believe it or not. I know I'm a good yapper, but sometimes certain emotions, it's very hard to put them into words. So I think for a lot of Geminis, if you can't verbalize it, if you can't put it into words properly, maybe bite your tongue for now. Not always, but for the time being. This is a blockage or a miscommunication. All right, let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So you got a lot of different stuff going on here, Gemini. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we start pretty rough. We have the Ten of Swords with the Strength card in reverse. There could be a karmic ending of some sort or a cycle shift. It makes sense, especially this time of year. Or there may have been this Ten of Swords moment that happened where it might still be lingering. Like, to me, it feels like I got punched in the air. I've lost all my air for a minute. The energy feels a little down. But moving to the center, it's like a total flip in the other direction. We got the Four of Wands with the King of Cups. Now, sure, could Spirit be trying to give you a warning sign about something, like a omen or karmic warning? Very possible. But at the same time, the energy just feels so extreme in the other direction. So watch out for any extremes, whether it's in people's behavior or situations. It's all about the middle ground. So there might be a situation where you need to take the middle path. Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Cups with the Nine of Wands. We do see a message or a conversation of importance or seriousness here, but I get somebody either choosing their words very carefully or needing to, because there could be some miscommunications going on where it's like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Or somebody say, yeah, don't worry about it, no big deal, when inside they're like ruminating on it. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we got? What's in the shadows here? Thank you. Yeah, Page of Cups again. So same card that we have in the main part of the reading. And we'll focus in on the shadow side of this card. And we already spoke about it multiple times within the reading. So this is like a double down of the warning that we got within the reading itself. Watch out for the miscommunications or not being able to put words to certain feelings or emotions. If you feel like all you're going to do is inflame something, maybe Spirit wants you to just hold back for a minute and wait until you can put words to it. This could also just represent a miscommunication. There might be something you're going through where it's like, oh no, the wires got crossed, or I'm not hearing it the right way, or they're not hearing it the right way. It's all a matter of perspective, right? I don't like the suppression that I get in the shadows with the Page of Cups. So if you are going through something where you feel like you just have to push it down, nothing I can do about it, just going to push it down. You're going to need some sort of release valve at some point. So we got a lot of different energy swirling here, Gemini. Again, only take what hits for you, but we're going to put that page down right there. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.